Hey lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is going to be the sewing tutorial of how we made this cupped bustier. So if that is what you're interested in, please stay tuned and watch till the end of this video. Thank you. So I already went ahead to cut out my pieces of fabric. So whatever you are using for your main fabric, you are going to sew the front piece and the back piece together before sewing your lining, what you'll be using as your lining piece, before attaching all of them together. So this is just me indicating. Now for the part I'll be using as my main fabric, I usually add stay, like double it at that main fabric, but I use just one single stay at my lining piece. So that's just the difference I was trying to show you. Now you go ahead to join your front pieces together, which is your center front and your side front together, before joining your back pieces together. So you'll be doing this for the main part you are using as your front piece, and you'll be doing the same thing for your lining piece. So as at when I was sewing this dress, I didn't have any padded with me, so that's why I'm sewing it just like that. So if you have your padded, you can go ahead to attach it while you are sewing. So after that, this is what you are going to be having. So now my main fabric, I've sewn all the pieces together, then my lining fabric, I've sewn all the pieces together. So for your lining piece, you'll be attaching your boning channels. So this is just me indicating how you attach your boning channels. So I'm just using my hand to indicate. So after snatching your waist, you also need to add a lot of boning channels. So this is not compulsory for people that have like tiny stomachs, but if you are working with a bigger client, you need more. So I went ahead to attach my padded at this point. So after that, I'll go ahead to join my main fabric and my lining pieces together at the chest line. So after that, you go ahead to attach strong stay to the part where you'll be adding your lacing channels. So just double your strong stay. So I already attached my back yoke at this point. Now for the designs at the front, I just went ahead to freehand cut like triangle pieces into 4 parts, and I'll fold the edges in. So if you can fold the edges in, that's fine. If you can burn it, that's fine. So now what I'm doing is just placing them on the front side of my fabric. So I'm just going to use my hand, place, shift, and just put them the way I want them to be, and I'll go ahead to pin it down when I'm done. And after pinning down, I'll take to my machine to sew, to secure in place. So just remember, this is an inbuilt corset, so when you are cutting out your triangle pieces, it should be long, so that after attaching your skirt piece, it's still going to show. So as you can see, I've not joined my lining piece and my main piece together. At that side, I'll be adding my lacing channel because I'm going to attach my skirt first. So this is what I have after securing it in place. Now I'm just measuring out my inbuilt extension. So in this case, my bustier is actually a low-waisted bustier. That's why the inbuilt is not like as long. So it's not like the inbuilt is not as long actually. It's just that I had to shift my skirt downwards because it's a low-waisted bustier. Now I'm just going ahead to measure it out, and I will use my vanishing pen to indicate. So after that, I'll find the midpoint of my front piece. So because I'll be attaching the skirt from that point, so I'll be attaching from the middle of my skirt to the middle of my front piece. Then I'll sew it all the way down to my back piece, like 3 inches before my lacing channel. Just take a look at what I'm indicating in the video. So in case you don't have a mannequin, or maybe your dress does not fit into your mannequin, this is another easy way to attach your skirt piece. So after sewing my skirt piece, this is what I have, and I'll be flipping over to my lining piece to attach my boning. So now this is how I usually place my boning. The part, that curvy part, is what I usually place facing upwards of my lining piece. So I don't know if you understand, but just take a look at what I'm indicating in the video. The curvy part is what I usually attach facing upwards. So when attaching your boning, you will like leave out 1 inch from your boning channel. So, and don't forget to bond the edges to avoid it like poking your client. So after that, I will iron everything flat. So at this point, I already placed my front yoke, joined my shoulders and my sleeves. I've already joined my back pieces down. So what I'm doing now is placing the lace for my front piece. So you can see I just took out a long strip of lace, and I'm going to like create the shape I want, and I'm just going to freehand it and use my scissors, place everything flat. Any place I see that is bulky, I will slit it, like overlap it together, and I'll pin down. Then after pinning down, I unsew everything. So I lost the clip of while I was attaching the feathers. So basically what I just did is I marked out where I want my feathers to be at that net part, and I placed a paper underneath so that it can like allow me sew properly. So usually the feathers come in like strips. So if you've bought that kind of feathers, you know how they usually come in. And I just cut the strips like 12 inches wide because I folded them to like make them 6 inches to give it like more volume. So what I did is I just sewed them down like straight from my shoulder of the left hand part. From my shoulder I sewed them down to the chest line, and when I got to the chest line, what I did is I began to pluck out the feathers from the strip. Like I had to remove the strip and fill in the space to avoid it showing that, oh, I stitched it down. I don't know if you understand what I'm explaining now. After sewing, I plucked out the feathers and I used my candle gum. So the candle gum is usually the best option, and I used it to fill in the space. So you're just going to fill in the space at this chest line and around the one you sew down.